Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now.
Yo, what is up, everybody? Let's talk about the new episode of The Real Housewives of New York. That is episode 5 of season 14, the new era, and the title of this episode is Fashionably Absent. We pick up at this Friendsgiving that Sai hosts in honor of Brynn. She's sharing her story of not having a good childhood. Her parents were not there. She was in tears, and so were the other women because it was a very sad story. Her dad did end up reaching out to her when she was in high school because he was dying, and she did spend time with him up until his death, but it wasn't that long. It was great to see the other women being supportive of her and creating a safe space for her in that moment. Okay, but then Jessel tells them about an event that she's going to be having soon for a designer that she works with, and it's also like a charity thing as well, so she's inviting them to that. Then they are having fun over the food, Sai's toilet paper that she made a big deal out of, but then Erin just can't help herself, and she brings up the cackling hags comment made by Jessel. And Jessel says, well, I thought it was just a joke, I was just being funny. But Erin is so bothered. She's taking this a little bit too far, like, calm down, lady. And they sort of start picking at Jessel, Brynn included. They say, you were miserable at that trip at the Hamptons. You were not having a fun time. And she says, I just missed my kids and it was my first time being away from the kids. And then Brynn tries to throw Jessel under the bus about work or something like that. And then Erin says, oh, you work? In such a condescending manner. And they all bring up that Jessel hasn't had sex with her husband in a long time, which they seem to be a little bit too invested in this, especially Sai. Like, okay, we get it, but they keep bringing it over and over again. Then it is days later and we see brief solo scenes of the women. We see Sai being in her element, which I like. She's a blogger, so we saw her like in the process of receiving clothes and products, shoes and stuff like that to write about and make videos and do content. She was there with her 2 assistants, and it's so interesting seeing like the behind the scenes of her creating those TikToks and those Instagram reels. Okay, but let's move on to this next scene because it gave me life. So it was Jessel and Erin meeting up at a coffee shop in Tribeca. And Jessel says, you know, this neighborhood's really up and coming. It has potential. And Erin is at a loss for words. She says, potential? This is one of the most expensive places in the country. And that's why I love Jessel, because she says the most funniest things, like without even being conscious of it. But Jessel was actually the one who invited her there because remember in the Friendsgiving, Jessel gave her condolences to Erin for her grandmother's memorial. Well, Jessel noticed that Erin was a little bit weird, so she wants to know what's going on. And Erin's response is, yeah, we are just 2 very different people. And I guess you could take that several ways. But that was a very mean comment in my opinion. She also accused Jessel of having mood changes and says that maybe Jessel is being used to being treated like a princess. And Jessel says, oh, really? A princess who doesn't work? So she remembered that little comment. So she's defending herself and says, you know, I embrace women. So then Erin says, oh, so you're saying that I don't embrace women and build them up? Erin says she really didn't know she went back to work. Well, that's why she made that comment. But Jessel is upset that Erin said that Jessel is used to being catered to because she says she is an immigrant, you know, and says that she doesn't have time for fake friends. The conversation didn't end horribly, but they are both very disappointed at how it ended, and it was more like 10 steps backward instead of even moving 1 forward. Erin even called Jessel a lunatic as she was leaving the coffee shop. Then it is time for Jenna. A friend of hers comes to see her. They go to a storage room that Jenna has because she has so many clothes and so many shoes. So her and her friend are going over dozens of outfits and trying to figure out what to do with them, sell them or keep them. Jenna has some great moments in her career and some of those outfits represent that. So then the next scene is Brynn, Sai, and Erin meeting up at another coffee shop. Brynn actually got a call from Jessel, and now she's sharing what Jessel said to these women, which, I mean, if it was a phone call, then she probably didn't want anyone to know. But essentially, Jessel is over it with Erin. Erin is telling them about Jessel and how she said Tribeca was up and coming and they're all laughing at her and saying that she's clueless. And she's also telling them that she got so bothered that she got so bothered that I called her a princess, and she got tears in her eyes. And let me tell y'all this, okay? Brynn had a troubled past. Sorry about that. I feel bad for her. But I'm sensing some Kenya Moore vibes from her, like mean girl. She's very messy. She says to Erin, so she can call you guys cackling hags and act like it's nothing, but when you call her a princess, she gets offended? There must be something wrong with her, they all say, and that she doesn't owe up to anything. Then she says that she insinuated I don't support women. Erin was totally misconstruing the whole conversation that they had. So then we move on to Jessel's fashion event. Jessel's husband was drinking some sort of drink with a carrot inside of it, and she reprimanded him over it. That was hilarious. But in the meantime, Jenna is with her family decorating for Christmas, like putting up the tree and other decorations. Her son was there. But going back to Jessel, she had some pretty important fashion people come over. I don't know any of them because that's not my thing, but in the industry, they for sure are VIPs. Then Sai arrives. She has some snacks and asks Jessel, what is going on with you and Erin? Did you guys get into it because she called you a princess? And Jessel says, yeah, like you, I'm also an immigrant who came from nothing. And Sai says, I don't think you came from nothing. Based on your accent, you sound like you're from old money. Which might be true, but if it's not, then that would be pretty offensive. And Jessel, that comment didn't sit well with her. Ubah arrives, and then Brynn arrives, and the girls are asking about Jenna, like, where is she? Jessel says that she has something going on, so Sai takes it upon herself to FaceTime Jenna. So Jenna shows her family decorating and says that she wishes she was there, but she doesn't get to spend too much time with her son. Brynn is confused. She gets why she didn't come, but why did she say that she had an event? Then Erin arrives a little bit later. Jessel greets her and tries to make things right with her one more time. I think she was just glad to see her come and support her. But these women are very impressed by some of the guests that are there, like I said earlier. But in true housewife fashion, they're making fun of Jessel's wine. Erin then takes the opportunity to invite them because she and her husband are going to be renewing their vows. And then Sai in her confessional says that she hopes that there's going to be food there. That was funny. But going back to Jenna, Brynn is still talking about her. Why did she call this an event? She seemed very bothered and says that her name should be Jenna Lyons, but Lie. And she says that she feels like there's a double standard when it comes to Jenna. Like, she gets much more passives. So I did really notice that Brynn's kind of maybe wanting a problem with Jenna. I don't know what's going on, but that was the end of the episode. You guys, I didn't really care for Jessel that much when this show began, but I think she's kind of becoming the star of the show. I mean, this entire episode was practically centered around her, so I'm really enjoying seeing the dynamics change in the group. But you guys, let me know in the comment section, what were your thoughts about Jessel, about Erin, about all of these little things that were going on? Did you enjoy the episode? Please let me know. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.